Subscribe to my channel. You know you ain't got nothing else to do. Guys, y'all want to know what my toxic trait is? One of my toxic traits is that the first 5 minutes of a WNBA game in the first quarter, I can predict what team will win and what team will lose. And just looking at the first 5 minutes of this quarter, when it came to the Atlanta Dream versus the Indiana Fever, I knew that it was a wrap for the freaking Dream. Listen, y'all. The first quarter, Aaliyah Boston made the first 3 points of the night. Okay, back to back to back. She put up a layup. That's 2 points. Put up a layup. 2 points. Put up a layup. That's 2 points. Then Caitlin Clark decides she want to put up a layup. That's 8 points. It was literally the first 5 minutes and some change, right? It was literally 8-0. Atlanta Dream having 0 points to Indiana Fever. The girls had 8 points. I was like, yeah, this is about to get ugly. So I'm going to give you some play-by-plays. The first quarter kicks off. Of course, Boston scores. Then Boston scores. And then Boston scores again. And then, Mitchell scores, right? And then Gray hits a three. Alicia Gray, that is. Clark hits a three. Then Naz Hillman of the Atlanta Dream, she makes 2 of 2 free throw shots. Gray hits yet another three. Mitchell scores. Then Smith scores. Canada makes a three. Canada makes 2 of 2 free throws. Canada makes 1 of 2 free throw shots. Clark scores. Then Smith scores. Smith makes 1 of 1 free throw shots. Fag Minley scores. Then Ryan Howard scores a 3-pointer, right? She puts up a three, and that is the first quarter ending with 22 points, okay? Fever had 22 points to Atlanta Dreams, just 17 points. The second quarter pops off. Charles scores. Okay, Tina Charles, that is, she scores again. See, they were trying to fight back a little bit. The second and third quarter, the Dream was actually cutting down that huge point difference. Then Boston scores. Charles scores again, then Dantas scores. Dantas, I was not familiar with her game. She was putting up some threes, okay? Dantas is detrimental. She is a huge asset for the Fever Girls. Mitchell makes 2 of 2 free throw shots. Charles scores, then Dantas makes yet another 3-pointer. Mitchell scores, then Caldwell hits a 3-pointer. Dantas hits yet another three. And then Canada, that is Jordan Canada, she makes 1 or 2 free throw shots. Mitchell scores, Charles scores, Mitchell scores yet again. Mitchell makes 1 of 1 free throw shots. Gray is 2 of 2. Mitchell scores, Charles scores, Melissa Smith scores, Clark hits a three. Gray answers her back with making a three. Boston scores, and the second quarter ends with the Fever Girls having 52 points to the Dreams 38 points. Again, it was some scary hours. The third quarter kicks off. Mitchell hits a three. Charles is 1 of 1. Boston is 1 of 2. Charles scores. Clark hits yet another three. Charles scores again. Charles makes 1 of 1 free throw shots. Charles scores. Clark makes 2 of 2 of her free throw shots. And then Boston ends up hurting Gray. So again, Aaliyah Boston and Alicia Gray, they play passionately. Aaliyah Boston ended up kind of sideswiping Alicia Gray in her face. Her glasses flew off. And Boston, she wasn't ejected from the game, but she kind of got sat out because she pretty much fouled her. And after that, Gray makes 1 or 2 free throw shots, and then she kind of sat down a little bit on the bench. And then Ryan Howard scores. Mitchell puts up a three. Clark is 1 of 1 with the free throw shot. Ryan Howard, that is, she makes 2 of 2 free throw shots. And then we got Dantas, guys, of the Indiana Fever. She puts up yet another 3-pointer. Ryan scores. Charles scores. Canada scores. Jordan makes 1 of 1 free throw shots. And then Clark scores. Okay? And then you have the third quarter ending with the Fever Girls having 70 points to the Atlanta Dream Girls 59 points. The fourth quarter kicks off. Jones scores. That's Haley Jones of the Atlanta Dream, that is. Clark hits a three. Mitchell hits a three. Then Jones scores. Ryan Howard hits a three. Charles scores. Charles scores again. Howard hits up another three. And then Lexi Hall scores. And then Mitchell scores. Mitchell makes 1 of 1 free throw shots. Clark scores. Boston is 1 of 2. Coffee is number 3. And then the game ends, right? After Kelsey makes 2 of 2 of her free throw shots. But let me just tell y'all, because it was dramatic, okay? I know y'all saw it if y'all watched the game. The last 34 seconds, I believe it was on the clock, timeout, right? They call a timeout. They're trying to set up some plays, set up some screens for these players. Because the Atlanta Dream, they were only down by 3 points. I was like, oh my God, this could be a repeat of Chicago Sky versus the freaking Las Vegas Aces. Remember when at the end of the game, Kennedy Carter had put up a three and they were even, and they was probably going to be forced into overtime? I'm thinking like, oh my God, they got it in the bag. But like some freaking idiots, Atlanta Dream literally just dropped the bag, right? They literally dropped the ball. So they play on hot potato with the ball. Ryan Howard tries to put up a three. Coffee, that is, tries to put up a three. And I believe Jordan Canada tried to put up a three. And Tina Charles, it was like, it was ridiculous, right? Indiana Fever somehow got possession of that ball. They take it to their line, to their hoop. They call a foul shot. That's how Kelsey makes 2 of 2 free throw shots. And the game ends, ladies and gentlemen, with the Fever Girls up by 84 points, while the Atlanta Dream was down 79 points. It was 84-79. The Dream Girls lost. The Dream got turned into a nightmare because the Indiana Fever cooked them with the fever. They did not have any Tylenol or any antibiotics to stop the fever. Again, They were cooking up in this game. Again, I'm always impressed with Caitlin Clark's performance. She was really good. Aaliyah Boston, she's always phenomenal. And Alyssa Smith was actually working. I'm going to do a little bit more about her later because she's been getting on my nerves. But Kelsey Mitchell, again, like she's just phenomenal. But not, she's a blur. Every time I see her play, she's literally a blur on my screen. The way she's just, again, it's so intimidating. It's like she doesn't know what fear is. Like, do you know what fear is, Kelsey Mitchell? 3 women on her. She literally would draw that ball. She dribbles it to the baseline, almost like she's literally risking going out of bounds and having a turnover. And then she could also get the ball stolen from her by 2 or 3 women guarding her and getting the ball getting it turned over to the Dream. But she don't care. She cruising that line and she just makes the layup. I'm like, Kelsey Mitchell, she does it back to back to back, and she was hitting threes. Kelsey Mitchell, again, I'm telling y'all, I'm gonna keep saying it when it comes to the Fever. She dropping hints that she wants to trade. She's dropping hints that she wants out of Indiana Fever. Pay that woman what she's worth. Do what it is, whatever it is that y'all need to do to keep her, because she is such an incredible asset for the Indiana Fever. Again, Alyssa Smith, they've been, listen, the word on the street, the streets is talking. You know, the girls talk. Word on the curb, I was looking at some Reddit posts. They've been calling you Nalazy Smith. Okay, not Alyssa, you Nalazy, because again, it seemed like you were ranked dead last when it comes to being a power forward. You're lazy. You be looking out of breath. You can't sprint. You can't run and get the ball. You can't score. You can't hit the mid range. You can't hit the three. You can't hit nothing. Okay, but I ain't gonna lie. During this game, she was cooking up. She had a pretty good, successful first half of the game. The first quarters, quarter one and quarter two. Now, Alyssa Smith was actually showing improvement. She was actually moving and grooving. I saw her using the knees, the Disney Channel knees. You know, when she tried to shoot, she gotta. This is Alyssa Smith, y'all. She gotta hit the Disney Channel knees, and she tried to put it up. It's so funny. I don't know why or how she decided that's the best method to make a point, but that's her thing. Again, I gotta show some love and praise to the Atlanta Dreams. Again, I thought they was gonna make it. I thought they was gonna win. They had cut it down the point deficit to only 3 points, but again, they just lost focus. Tanisha Ray, I don't know what play she gave y'all, but maybe it was on y'all, it was on her, I don't know. But again, y'all had like 3 or 4 chances, and everybody breaking after brick. It's like y'all had 34 seconds on the clock. Girl, you gotta get it together, Dream. And shout out to Alicia Gray, she did amazing. Ryan Howard, she was incredible. Shout out to Tina Charles, she was putting up points. And also Naz Hillman. Naz Hillman and Ryan Howard, they're actually from Cleveland. Again, my Ohio girlies. There's a lot of Ohio girls. Even Kelsey Mitchell. Kelsey Mitchell, guys, is from Cincinnati, Ohio. Yeah, I'm from Columbus, Ohio. And, you know, I always got to shine my light and shine my praises and give my flowers and my appropriate respects to all the Ohio women in the WNBA. Cleveland is the city. It's the biggest fun. Again, Caitlin Clark and the Fever Girls, they are the new Splash Sisters, okay? The Warriors had Steph Curry and Klay Thompson as the Splash Bros. Well, in the WNBA, we got Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell. Who else should I say? I would say Dantas, okay? Dantas, they're the Splash Sisters. The way they just come together and they just put up bucket after bucket after bucket. They made it rain in that Atlanta stadium tonight, okay? Just bucket after bucket, splash after splash, splashing 3-pointers when they had like it was nothing. You know, again, shout out to Dantas, Kelsey Mitchell, just all of them. Them Fever Girls are the Splash Sisters. Again, it'll be very interesting to see the Fever take on Chicago Sky in Chicago. Again, it's going to be the first WNBA game sponsored by Mattel, Barbie thing, pink down, everything. I will be covering that video, guys, this Friday, August 30th. So please like, comment, share, subscribe, and share my videos to everyone. Again, I will be, I'll have something on that's pink, right? Because again, I'm riding for Chicago Sky, but I ain't gonna lie. Seeing how they've been performing lately, especially in the second half after the WNBA pause due to the Olympic break and the WNBA All-Star game, I'm kind of afraid for my Chicago Skyscrapers, and they've gotten better too. These last 2 games, you know, we cut it down to like we lost by just 1 point with the Connecticut Sun, 1 point with the freaking Las Vegas Aces. But I don't know, the Splash Sisters just might come through and cook my Chicago Skyscrapers come this Friday.